Okay. So thank you so much for joining me, and you know, it's a wonderful, beautiful day today in Markham Thornhill. The weather is good, but the last time we were together, I talked about leadership, and how I talked about a good leader exercises wisdom, strength, perseverance, and they put Canadians at the heart of everything that they do. And today I want to talk to you about the economy. Canada's economy is one of the fastest growing in the advanced economies in the world. And since our government was elected, over 1 million jobs have been created, and poverty levels are at the lowest that they have been in the last decade. Canada's global brand is strong once again, and life for Canadians is more affordable. Just as we promise, we are growing the middle class. Recently, Andrew Scheer presented his plan for foreign policy. It was a plan that threatened our relationship with China, our economy, and the safety of our detained Canadians. This week, I was disappointed yet again when Andrew Scheer presented his plan for the economy, and it was just as reckless as his plan was for Canada's foreign policy. Scheer asked Canadians to ignore the economic indicators proving how well Canada is doing and claimed that Canada was failing. I worry about a person who calls himself a leader but ignores the facts. What kind of judgment would they exercise as a leader? Scheer said that he would take Canadian taxpayer dollars and put them in government coffers and not reinvest them in Canadians like the Liberal government has done. He said that if he were Prime Minister, no money would be invested in Canadians unless money could be cut from other Canadians. It worries me when the Conservatives want to collect taxes and not reinvest them in the middle class, in our roads, in affordable housing for seniors, in our families, and in our students. When you build roads, you make lives easier and more connected while creating good jobs. When you invest in modern laboratories for our kids to learn in, you help them get the skills and give them the advantage for the well-paying jobs of tomorrow. When you invest in seniors, you preserve culture and traditional languages while taking care of the ones who shape the country that we know and love today. When you invest in teaching children how to code, you're taking care of our kids' future so that they can take care of ours. When you invest in Canadians, you grow the economy. That's the thing that Conservatives never get. The free market economy alone does not care about Canadians. It cares just about the bottom line. It doesn't care about multiculturalism or seniors' rights or our universities. It is business, after all. But that is exactly why you elect governments, to make sure that the economy works for all Canadians. Scheer wants to give up on our economy and on Canadians, just like he wanted us to give up on our NAFTA negotiations and on fighting to defend our steel and aluminum workers. But he was wrong. Last Friday, the tariffs were lifted, and NAFTA, a better NAFTA for Canadians, will be ratified. A true leader does not give up. He does not leave the table when the going gets rough. A true leader has a thoughtful plan that is focused on delivering results. Our government has a plan. That plan is working. Scheer said that Canadians can't have it all. I don't believe that. I know that we can have a strong economy and we can have an inclusive society where everyone has an equal and fair chance to succeed. I know this because we were elected on that plan in 2015, and every day we have been proving that it is working. Thank you so very much, and I'm very happy to take any of your questions.
So when you talk about the cut that Andrew Scheer present, I think it's very similar to Doug Ford's government.
Well, that's an interesting observation because, I think that if you're going to put forward an economic plan, then I think you need to tell Canadians what that plan is going to look like. And if you are going to say to Canadians that you're only going to invest in Canadians if you're going to be able to find that money somewhere else, then the question is, where is it going to cut? And you are seeing a provincial government led by Doug Ford, where they are making those cuts. They're making cuts to small businesses. They're making cuts to post-secondary institutions. They're making cuts to regular Ontarians. So the question I pose to Canadians is, where are those cuts going to come from?
Okay, so you talk about the I think the Sino-Canada relationship is also a hot topic in Canada. We heard that the legislative delegation is now in China. Do you have any new updates to everybody?
Well, they're working hard in China. Of course, I have said this publicly, as has the Prime Minister and the government, that our priority is for our Canadians who are in China today, and we need to work very, very hard on their release. But I've also said that the relationship between Canada and China has one that has been a long one, and we are in a difficult period. But we need to work together, and we will continue to work very hard on the release of the Canadians, but also on a relationship that we consider to be important, and we're going to keep working hard.
So yesterday, the ambassador of China, Mr. Lu Shaye, was in Globe and Mail and participated in a forum. And during the speech, Mr. Lu Shaye said, if Ms. Meng Wanzhou is not released, and the relationship between Canada and China will not be becoming better as usual. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think that the ambassador knows, and I think we have been clear that Canada is a system that is governed by a rule of law. And we know that in the situation of Madam Meng, that she is going through due process, and I think that we need to let our independent system of law and the independent court system work its way through, and she will get and she will go through that in a in a process that is not going to be interfered by by politics. It needs, our independent judicial system has to work. But our relationship with China is also a it's a multifaceted one, and is one where as I said, we've had a long-standing relationship, and we are going to have to continue. We're going to have to continue working hard at this. I do believe that both countries value the relationship, they value the history, but it is going to take hard work.
So we heard that Andrew Scheer already said that China is one of the biggest threats of Canada. So is that China is a threat? Do you think China is a threat to Canada?
No, I don't think China is a threat to Canada. China is our second largest trading partner. China and Canada have been friends for many years. We have strong people-to-people ties. This is what I mean about a foreign policy that is reckless. You can't, as a leader, decide that you're just not going to entertain discussions with another nation. You need to look out for Canadians, and the way to look out for Canadians is to continue to have the discussions, even when those discussions are difficult.
I have a question. So recent poll seems like Conservative is in lead and Liberal is trailing. So what do you think about it?
Well, I think that I'm going to speak about what we were elected to do for Canadians over, since 2015. We were elected on a plan and a commitment to Canadians to grow the middle class and to create greater affordability for Canadians, and to have a plan on the environment, and that plan for the environment is one that is going to be thoughtful, because it is something that we're going to need for our next generations. So today, since 2015, we've created over 1 million jobs. Unemployment is at a 40-year low. 800,000 people have been lifted out of poverty. A third of those are children. Families are better off. There is greater affordability for seniors. There is, small businesses, which is a portfolio that I get to lead. We have we have the lowest tax rate for small businesses. I believe that what we will do is to convey to Canada and to Canadians the work we have done on their behalf, and we will let Canadians make that choice. But we are going to work very hard. I'm not going to stop working hard for Canadians. I'm going to keep working hard for people here in Markham Thornhill and for Canadians, because we made a commitment to have greater affordability. We have made a commitment to grow the economy. We made a commitment to have a better circumstances for our middle-class Canadians. That's what you're seeing today. And we're going to go, I'm looking forward to going to Canadians and sharing the results that we have worked hard on their behalf in the last 3.5 years. Thank you.
Fairchild is here.
Hello.
Fairchild need more. Just one-on-one. You don't want to take some shots of these.
Maybe.
Podium. We already asked all our questions.
Yes, I've also delivered my remarks, but
You can repeat a little bit for them. For the cutaways.
Would that?
Specific question?
I don't have questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I could. You know what? If others don't mind, I'm happy to just deliver them again so that you have it for your tape. It's easy. It won't take very long, and this way you have it. And so I'm gonna say,